Hey y'all, today I'm recreating my gluten-free apple crumb pie with a new recipe for the crumb topping. If you've never had apple crumb pie, aka Dutch apple pie, you have to make this pie. I cannot choose which is my favorite, my traditional gluten-free apple pie or this one. They're both so freaking good, so maybe I'm just going to have to make both for Thanksgiving this year. I don't think anybody's going to complain though, so let's get into it and I'll show you how to make it. Y'all know I just recently got a half bushel of my favorite Rome apples, so I'm just peeling about 4 to 5 pounds of these, which is roughly 8 large apples or so. This is a deep dish pie, so you'll need to adjust the recipe if you don't have a deep pie pan. I told you I was going to be sharing a bunch of apple recipes, and this is just one of them. Last week I shared caramel apple cheesecake bars, which were so good too. So I'm going to cut all of these apples into slices. You can make them as thin or as thick as you want. I tend to make them a little thicker normally just because I pre-cook the apple filling, so it doesn't need to be super thin to get completely cooked before the pie is done. But however you want to slice them is perfectly fine. Okay, I put all of my apples into a large Dutch oven along with 4 tablespoons or 56 grams of butter, 3/4 cup or 150 grams of granulated sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And I'll just turn the burner on to medium, and I'm going to stir these around so that everything gets nice and coated and combined. It's kind of hard at first because there's so many apples and they reach basically the top, but they're going to cook down and then it will be much easier to stir them. So just do your best. The reason I like to cook my apples before putting them in my pies is because they tend to cook down either way. So why not let them cook down beforehand so you don't end up with that gap in between your filling and your pie crust or whatever you're putting on top. Now, because it's crumble, you won't have necessarily a gap, but you are going to have shrinkage if you don't cook these apples ahead of time. That is my preferred method. You don't have to do it this way, but I find it to be much more reliable. And then the pie doesn't have to be in the oven for so long and your pie crust get absurdly overly done in order for the apples themselves to get completely done. Okay, it's been about 7 minutes or so. And as you can see, these have reduced significantly and the natural juices released and everything is bubbling. So I'm going to cut the heat now and I'll add in my thickener of choice, which is 1/3 cup or 40 grams of tapioca starch. It's my favorite thickener for fruit pies, but you can also use cornstarch if you'd prefer. And I'll just mix this through completely. Speaking of the pie crust, I've already blind baked it, as you can see. If you've never done this before, see my comprehensive video. I just updated it recently, all about my gluten-free pie crust and how to use it in any recipe you need it for, whether it's blind baked, double crust, it's all in there. So in this bowl, I have 1.5 cups or 210 grams of my gluten-free all-purpose flour blend, and 1/3 cup or 67 grams of granulated sugar. And then I'll add in 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt and 3/4 cup or 150 grams of brown sugar. And I'll mix this together before adding in the butter, which is 3/4 cup or 170 grams of melted butter. This is a different crumb topping recipe than my original apple crumb pie. It tends to hold its shape better than the other one I used to use. The old one would kind of spread out in the oven and create almost like a sugar cookie topping that would melt together. Not that there was anything wrong with that either. It tasted really good, but it didn't have those individual crumbs, and this is called an apple crumb pie, so that's why I updated it and changed the recipe a bit. Now that I've got this all mixed, I'm just going to pop this in the fridge while I wait for the apples to cool off. Okay, we're ready to assemble the pie. I actually took my apple filling and spread it out onto a baking sheet so it would cool faster, because in that Dutch oven, it'd take forever to cool. I'll just scoop this into my prepared par-baked pie crust. And like I said, this is a deep dish apple pie. So if you don't have a deep pie pan like this one, you're going to need to reduce the filling recipe. Unless you want to just make the whole amount of filling, and then you can put the leftovers in the freezer until the next time you make an apple pie. This deep dish pie pan I got from Pampered Chef many, many years ago. And it's one of my favorites, especially for an apple pie. I like my apple pies deep. All right, I want to get the top pretty even since we're not putting a top crust and instead putting a crumble, just so it doesn't, all the crumble doesn't kind of slide off of it too much. So now I'll grab my yummy crumb mixture and I'll just sprinkle most of this on the pie, but I'm going to hold back about a cup of it or so and add it later. I saw the Food Charlatan. She's another food blogger. She did this for her apple crumb pie, and I thought this was just what I'd need to help the crumb topping from spreading together. So we're going to bake this at 425 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes and then reduce the heat to 350 and continue to bake it for an additional 10 minutes. And then I'm going to remove the pie from the oven, add the rest of the crumbs on top, and bake it for an additional 40 to 50 minutes, just until a knife inserted into the pie goes in without any resistance. And the reason we do it like this in 2 stages is so part of that crumb mixture can get nice and like toasted and done before adding the rest of it, so it doesn't all just melt together. And that's my theory anyway. I don't know if that's the best theory, but that's what I'm going with because it worked. Here it is, y'all. I've had to cover the edges with foil halfway through baking so the crust didn't get too brown. I've got to let this sit for at least an hour before cutting into it, sadly, or it's going to be just a runny mess. Okay, it's been about an hour. My husband is just chomping at the bit to get a piece of this pie. It's his favorite thing, I think. Pie is his favorite thing, and my apple pie is definitely a favorite. So I will cut him a nice big slice. He's lucky, though. He can eat anything and not gain a single freaking pound. Men are like that, I swear. Not me. I can eat one bite and that's it. It's like 5 freaking pounds. Anyway, I have to taste this. This is our rhythm. I taste everything and then I pass it off to my husband. He eats the rest. But this is too darn good for me to not have just a few more bites. It's so good, you guys. That apple filling with the Rome apples, nothing compares to the Rome apples. They're just sweet enough. They're perfectly tender. So good, you guys. Enjoy.